So today we're going to be covering a squat variation that doesn't get a lot of love. Everybody's always talking about how much do you back squat, what's your front squat. Another new one is the safety bar squat, how much you safety bar squatting. There's one squatting variation that I absolutely love that I use with every single one of my athletes, whether it's an adult athlete, whether it's with a youth athlete as they're transitioning and progressing from the bodyweight squat, and that is the goblet squat. The goblet squat is a single dumbbell movement. I'm going to show you the form on it here in just a second. What it's going to do, it's going to teach your youth athlete how to keep their core engaged, how to keep their chest up, and also the proper mechanics for how to get deep into a squat. And it's also going to be a very safe alternative to any of the other ones. Because what ends up happening is if they can't get up out of the bottom of the squat, all they have to do is just simply drop the dumbbell. Also, the goblet squat's got a few different variations that you can use with your athletes as they progress. So the one that I'm going to be demonstrating first is just going to be your basic goblet squat. And again, this is a progression from the bodyweight squat. Some things to think about when performing the goblet squat or when coaching the goblet squat. You want to keep your core engaged. So when I say core engaged, imagine somebody's going to hit you in the gut. Somebody's going to come up, give you a big punch to the belly. That's what I mean by core engaged. Pull the belly in, keeping it tight. Also, with your head placement, a lot of squatters keep their head up. What ends up happening is they start to arch their back. What we want to do is we're going to keep our chin drawn in. What that's going to do is going to put our neck in alignment with the rest of our spine, making sure that we have a good, strong spinal position. From there, you want to keep your weight back on your heels. Now, as far as width of feet, you can go a little bit wider. You can go about shoulder width apart, maybe slightly wider than shoulder width. You can go a little bit more narrow, about hip width apart, but you don't want to go too much wider than shoulder width. You don't want to go too much more narrow than hip width apart. Also, you can turn the toes out a little bit more. That's going to activate the inner thighs a little bit more. If you keep your toes more straight ahead, that's going to activate the quads a little bit more. Kind of depends on what you're trying to focus in on with your athletes. A couple of other variations you can use with the goblet squat. You can do a slow controlled descent, which is also called the eccentric, where you do a 4 to 6 count as they're going down, have them hold for a 2-second count at the bottom, and then explode up. Every movement that you're going to do as far as squatting goes, the concentric movement, the way up, is always going to be explosive. 1, let's go. Keep that chest up, good. 2 more. Okay, a couple other different variations you can do. You can do a single leg goblet squat. You can do one where you have a bench, and it's kind of a variation of a pistol squat where they have their foot elevated. So notice the lowering, the eccentric movement is controlled. When I sit down on the bench, I'm going to actually turn off my hip flexors. So that's the difference whenever you sit down on the bench. It's going to turn off the hip flexors. And then from there, you got to really be explosive on the way up, pressing into your heel, activating the glutes, activating the hamstrings, activating the quads, all while keeping the core tight throughout the movement. All right, guys, that's our Thorough Thursday move of the day, the goblet squat, and a few different variations of the goblet squat. Be on the lookout for every Thursday. I'm going to be putting out videos covering exercises, drills, the mechanics, exactly how to do it with the proper form, and the benefits of each movement. Again, that's each Thursday. We're going to call it Thorough Thursday Move of the Day.